So, right, yeah, hi. How are you? How's it going? Here we are, once again. The Thursday show, the last show of the week. This is a show that's entirely closing numbers. It's entirely finales. Why? Because I felt like playing all of them. And also because I know that my lovely wife is going to be late getting home today, so I can get away with playing at least one of them, which I know she's not real fond of, so she doesn't have to deal with it. That's a strange way to be considerate to your SO, but there it is. Some things are going to change probably in the next couple of weeks. That's just something I'm going to just put out there. I don't know exactly how yet, but I'll keep you posted on that. Meanwhile, why don't we play a song my wife doesn't like. I swear I need to have like a collection when I do get some albums put together. One of them will be songs my wife doesn't like. That'll be one of the collections because there are some songs she's not that fond of. Not like hates with a deep abiding passion, but just like she could do without them. This is one of them because it was inspired by that right over here. This thing right here. Someone went and made a Stonehenge out of cheese, and I decided, you know what? I need to write a song about that. And this is, I want you to imagine, if you will, the mid-70s, and you're in a Neil Diamond concert, and he's played through all of his catalog, and now he's digging into the very, very far back, because that's what this song pretty much sounds like. And it goes something, but only something, like this. Cheesehenge, it's like Stonehenge, but it's made of cheese, and it stood taller than the trees. Majestic in its pasteurized glory, generations all tell the story of the henge made of cheese. Erected by the ancient Welsh, you know they really couldn't help themselves. Towering spires of Wensleydale, their faith in engineering would prevail. Cheesehenge, it's a henge, but it's made of cheese. The construction was quite a breeze. Majestic in its pasteurized glory, generations all tell the story of the henge made of cheese. Who knows why they built this thing? Did they turn cartwheels around it and sing? How this dairy stuff lasts so long, we'll just wonder about it in song. Cheesehenge, it's a henge, but it's made of cheese, and it swayed slightly in the breeze. Majestic in its pasteurized glory, generations all tell the story of the henge made of us all. Take a selfie to send to my mom. In the woods by a distant stream, you're gonna smell it before it's seen. Cheese henge, it's a henge, but it's made of cheese. If you're allergic, it'd make you sneeze. Majestic in its pressure and glory, generations all tell the story of the henge made of cheese. Cheese henge. Blackout, pyro, we have no budget. But we're not done. This is not the closing song, but that's what would usually happen if I had a budget. This is arguably one of the dumber songs that I've ever written. But you do get this lovely picture of Cheesehenge over here. And I get to sing like I imagine that mid-70s double denim in low Earth orbit Neil Diamond would sing. So I feel pretty good about that. I really like that little bit of the rhythm break in the chorus. Whew. Some of the uprights in me tilting. Perhaps it's tilt. Oh, no. I was just proud that I managed to get Wensleydale into the verse. Come on, folks. So, yeah, it's all closers. This show's entirely finale songs. Songs that I usually use to end the show. And the last song will, in fact, be like the ender of the ender song. So, I mean, you know, we're just kind of working our way through it. One of the things that I know is going to change is that the day job has modified its working from home practices, and my department is going to have some changes happening. The bottom... No, but it is fun to say. I mean, come on, Wensleydale is just a fantastic cheese name. But it does mean that the odds are very good that I will be working in the office 3 days a week for a while, and then probably going like to full-time somewhere in August, but I don't know exactly when, and I don't know exactly which days. So as soon as I know, I will let y'all know, and I'll tell the scheduling people at the stream guides and stuff like that, and Twitch and so forth, because they have a schedule, if you believe it. So the next one I'm going to do is one that I wrote almost immediately after working Texas Furry Fiesta for the first time. It's now 2 years, doing the Troubadork show. So this was back in 2019. I wrote this song, and I actually performed it. No, I'd actually performed it in 2020. This pre-lockdown, that's true. I think that's right. I could be wrong. I did the Magic Show in 2019, music in 2020, then lockdown, then 2021, and I did the virtual con this year. So, yay. And this is a song that I wrote that I've discovered has a lot of crossover appeal. And it's also a song that I get to play with some of my favorite chords, which are 7th chords. I love 7th chords. I don't know why, I love them. So, this one is, of course, about cross-species, lycanthropic, you try saying it, dating habits. It finally happened to me, I found someone. I didn't think it could come true, but I found me a life companion, so the same thing could happen to you. I mean, our life together is wonderful. I think we're gonna get serious soon. We really got a good thing going, but it gets real freaky when we hit a full moon. I'm dating a werewolf. Oh yes, it's true. I'm dating a werewolf. I feel a woo-hoo. It's like I'm awake in a beautiful daydream, yo. They really have improved my days. I'm still really startled they found me here. Guess we'll have to see how all this plays. They do all kind of cute things that I adore. This relationship is gonna go far. I mean, I get all squishy when they stick their head out of the window when we're driving my car. I'm dating a werewolf. Oh yes, it's true. I'm dating a werewolf. I feel a woo-hoo. saying that things are perfect here. You know the challenges will always be there, but we work our way through our problems now, and it usually kind of all turns out fair. I mean, I don't like finding my partner now, so I learned me this one little trick. When things get angry and we get into a fight, all I gotta do to win is throw a stick. I'm dating a werewolf. Oh yes, it's true. I'm dating a werewolf. I feel a woo, 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 woo. So now you know the whole darn crazy story here. How my life just flipped right upside down. And while I might not sound like my mind's too clear, gotta know that I ain't wearing a frown. I mean, I know that I hit me the jackpot, y'all. That's the reason why I'm singing this song. And although we know it could take a lot of work, not a single little thing is gone. Excuse me. Hairball. I'm dating a werewolf. Oh yes, it's true. I'm dating a werewolf. I feel a woo, 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 out with me. Woo, woo, yeah. I still love the ending of that and the fact that I hit that big high C that I cannot hit softly. That is me going damn the torpedoes full speed ahead. And usually that's the reason why I do it at the end. So that if I completely destroy myself, hey, I'm done. At least for a little while. Cool things to talk about and to mention. Hill Country Comic Con in New Braunfels. I am going to be there in August as part of their convention. I'm going to be in... They ran out of tables, but because I'm not charging them anything, they let me set up my shop. They'll let me set up my shop out in the courtyard area. This could be interesting in so many ways because it's August and it's in New Braunfels, Texas. But it is under shade with a lot of fans, and I'm going to continue to hydrate myself vigorously because I am a veteran of many, many, many stupidly placed Renaissance festivals. Hail hydrate. So we'll see how that goes, and I will give you more information on that and any other conventions I just happen to be turning up at as we progress. So yeah. So it makes sense that now, having played a song that I played that was inspired by a convention that I went to, I'm now going to play a song that was inspired by a Celtic music festival that I did. I did the Sherwood Forest Fair Celtic Music Festival 2 years ago. Basically stage managed a stage, and I got to play a little bit in between here and there. This one is one that I wrote. I actually initially wrote authentic Irish gibberish song, and I was okay with that. But I knew I could do better. And so once I figured out the thesis behind the next song I'm going to do, which I have named Phase Lament, because I didn't want to give away the gag in the title. I knew I was in pretty good shape. I did do one other change to it, and that is that I did start it out in D because so much Celtic music starts in D. However, every time I started to sing it, I would begin to cripple myself. And begin to sing like a necktie tenor. Necktie tenor being an old term, meaning a man who sings tenor in such a way that it sounds like he's being slowly strangled by his necktie. I took it down to C, and suddenly it was so much easier to sing. So that was clearly a sign. Also, because this is a technically Gaelic or Irish tune, it can be sung one of two ways. Light and pretty, or drunk and resentful. Drunk and resentful, here we go. My life was a shambles, I wished I were dead, but I decided to live with the fairies instead. So I found me a circle, a place I had known, but when I pled my case, the fairies had flown. My dreams of adventure had all blown away, the problem was quite plain to see. Oh, I couldn't couldn't run away with the fair ran away from me. I went to a mushroom ring out in the field, left cakes and honey and hoped it would yield a chance to leave my world and live with the fae. Cakes, honey, and fairies were all gone next day. Them bloody cheap fairies had all run away. My dreams of adventure had all blown away. The problem was quite plain to see. Oh, I couldn't run away with the fair ran away from me. Why? Well, the queen of the fairies, she heard my lament. In a big cloud of glitter, she popped up and went. We've heard your petition, but have to say nay. Stop begging to get us to haul you away. My dreams of adventure had all blown away. The problem was quite plain to see. Oh, I couldn't run away with the fair ran away from me. I asked why I could not flee into the fae. She said, for you, boyo, you can't go that way. Said, you are a rare one, but we'll tell you true. Immortal life's complex enough without you. No telling what madness you'd get us into. My dreams of adventure had all blown away. Problem was quite plain to see. Oh, I couldn't run away with the fair ran away from me. She said, you know we've been watching, you're known far and wide. I said, that's a bit on the stalkerish side. Can't live here forever, you can visit, you see. Just remember the caterans, BYOP. You are not getting in on a technicality. My dreams of adventure had all blown away. The problem was quite plain to see. Oh, I couldn't run away with the fair ran away from me. One more time, drunken resentful, here we go. My dreams of adventure had all blown away. The problem was quite plain to see. Oh, I couldn't run away with the fair ran away. The fair ran away from me. That's a song that usually chases the cat out of the room. Because she's a music lover. Yeah. Charge. So, yeah, finally, after much deliberation, come to the moment you've all been waiting for. That's right. The actual final song in this final songs episode of the Tobias the Adequate Troubadork Non-Commute Pandemic Coping Mechanism show. I thought about it long and hard. Well, I thought about it for at least 10 minutes. Which, considering the kind of planning that goes into this show, is a lot. Is my cat a fae? I don't know. I don't know, really. I think she has too much attitude to be a fae, and that's saying something. But the last song is one that I have saw as a finale song long before I started doing this music thing seriously, and it's because it was a finale song at the MUSSELS Music Hall at the Great Christmas Fair of Charles Dickens London in San Francisco, California. An organization which is currently going through some things which I will not touch upon here because this is not the show to touch upon such things, but you can look them up if you want to. And it sounds like it is a very old music hall song. It is not, in fact, a very old music hall song. It was written in the 70s. And it was written in the 70s by a couple of guys who hung out at what we now know as a raw bar, really, but it's just a seafood restaurant in Baltimore, Maryland, called Bertha's MUSSELS. And they wrote this song, and just about every neo-Victorian whack job out there, including myself, adopted it immediately. So much so that most people think that it must be Victorian, but it isn't. It is, in fact, written in the 70s, which means that technically this could count as disco. Bertha's mussels, they're the best there is by far. You can eat them in the dining room, you can eat them in the bar. So when you're ashore in Baltimore and you fancy a bite to eat, just follow your nose to Bertha's and you'll be in for a rare old treat. Well, a sailor came to Bertha's with a problem most severe. His manly pride had been atrophied by a voyage of 14 years. So he ate a plate of mussels. Now he sings in a different key. His jibboom set right, he'll be back there tonight, and he's not going back to sea. So eat Bertha's mussels, they're the best there is by far. You can eat them in the dining room, you can eat them in the bar. So when you're ashore in Baltimore and you fancy a bite to eat, just follow your nose to Bertha's and you'll be in for a rare old treat. Well, a lady came to Bertha's who wanted a daughter or son. The doctors had said with a shake of their heads that she couldn't have either one. So she ate a plate of mussels and went home to her husband. Dear, hi babe, she tuned up his truth, and to tell you the truth, they had triplets the very next year. No one knows. So eat Bertha's mussels, it was fine. They're the best there is by far. By far, you can eat them in the dining room, you can eat them in the bar. So when you're ashore in Baltimore and you fancy a diet to eat, just follow your nose to Bertha's and you'll be in for a rare old treat. They will cure your diarrhea, thank God, cure your constipation too. Just throw away box for the chicken pox, for the measles, or the flu. So if you fancy a healthy life, get your daily dosage straight. A plate a day of Bertha's mussels and you'll live till you're 98. So eat Bertha's mussels, yum! They're the best there is by far. You can eat them in the dining room, you can eat them in the bar, When you're ashore in Baltimore and you fancy a bite to eat, just follow your nose to Bertha's and you'll be in for a rare old treat. I've often wondered how that should end. I think that's how that should end. And so, here we are, at the successful culmination of yet another Tobias the Adequate Troubadork non-commute pandemic coping mechanism show. Thank y'all for hanging out with me once again. We will continue to do this in some way until such time as we have to do something else. Thank y'all once again. Honestly, 253 shows is a lot of shows. It is the equivalent of me doing over 36 weekends of fair, which is the most weekends of fair I ever did in my entire Renaissance Festival performing career, which happened pretty early on, really, because I was in California, where you could pretty much go to a Renaissance Festival of some kind almost every weekend, at least one weekend per month, every weekend, every month of the year, till you got to December, and then it was time for Dickens. Alas, we are now here. We will continue to do this. And thank you again for watching, because if you weren't watching me, none of this is justifiable. All right, folks, tip jars and stuff like that. PayPal.me/theadequate, Venmo @theadequate. Thank you very much to Alicia, Eric, Robert, Rick, Emily, and Miranda for throwing some bucks in the bucket there. Thank you to my Patreon peeps. Patreon.com/theadequate, and that is, of course, Chinjo, Lexi Austin, Chris Teppo, Shay, Linda, and Stephen Robb, Alicia, Relly, BK, Richard, Brian, and Lorene. Y'all continue to bewilder and amaze me. I am at theadequate.com, but I am also at, by God, Troubadork, pointinguphere.com. That now points to the Troubadork page on theadequate.com. Thank you, Internet. I am at theadequate on TikTok. I'm at theadequate on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I am at Tobias theadequate on TikTok and Tumblr. SoundCloud.com/Matthew-Laguerre. That's most of my recorded stuff. I could, in fact, sing into a sheet cake. It would be messy. Unruly Voices is the proud and somewhat bewildered publisher of Artisanal Gibberish. That's right, a slim volume of poetry. Just the sort of book to leave on the toilet tank in your bathroom or gift to your least beloved relative. If you go to unrulyvoices.com/product/artisanal-gibberish or go to theadequate.com and go to Artisanal Gibberish there, you'll find where you can purchase this lovely, fine piece of book at 4 different hard copy publisher people and about a dozen ebook format sites. The ebook is 99 cents, and you have spent more money on dumber things than this as an ebook form. THUD Bucket is, of course, death metal you can laugh at. You can go to THUD Bucket on the YouTubes and THUD Bucket on the Facebook and find that out. Carpe Diem Comics is and continues to be the official emotional support comic shop of Tobias the Adequate and all the many dumb things that I do. Paper Angel Press is a very proud people behind Unruly Voices, who are the very confused people behind my first book, and there will be a second book coming out, and we are just about at the point where we can start really working seriously on the audiobook for Volume 1 of Artisanal Gibberish. I like cheese, and having said that, I have run out of things to say, so that is enough out of me for another week. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Be safe. Be silly. Be kind. We will do this again. We are getting closer. We are edging ever so close to that point where we can go, okay, maybe this time. Maybe we mean it. But do be careful out there until such time as that happens, because each and every one of you is startlingly important to me. Those of you who watch the show live, those of you who watch the show in repeats, those of you who just tell people about the show, those of you who like the show when it shows up, even if you don't watch it. Because y'all give what I do here purpose and meaning and consequently justify my existence. So there you go. Thank you. Y'all have been wonderful. I have been Tobias the Adequate, and I thank you for encouraging my behavior. I'll see you all next time. Take care. Aloha.